Let's go now to our correspondent in Germany, Polina Garaev. Polina, good to see you again. So, press conference there, they talked about a lot of things. Abbas also talked about the recent escalation that took place in Gaza. He talked about sort of saving the two-state solution, according to him, but also called for an end to what he called Israeli apartheid, and kind of getting a pretty harsh response there from Scholz, who completely rejected the use of that word. How harmful is that sort of for Abbas to kind of receive that response, or is that something that you would expect Germany, particularly Germany, when you consider its relations with Israel, to say?
Mm-hmm. Well, it shouldn't be particularly surprising, since this rejection of the term apartheid doesn't reflect, doesn't present some sort of policy change on the part of Germany. It is, however, important to hear this coming from Scholz, who's a fairly new chancellor. We're still learning what exactly is his position when it comes to Israel and what can we expect from him in the future. But it shouldn't be a surprise to Abbas, especially since this was definitely not the only thing on which there were clear disagreements between Scholz and Mahmoud Abbas. One of the main demands that he presented during this press conference is the support of the international community. So he hopes for full membership status for the Palestinians in the UN. Currently, they hold the status of an observer. Olaf Scholz made it clear that he doesn't think that this is the time to change the current status quo, and he does not support this move. Also, we heard this in the quote. He did mention that perhaps it's time for the Palestinian Authority to hold an election, and Abbas responded by saying that the election will take place only when Israel allows for it to also the voting to happen in the eastern Jerusalem. So it seems that the only thing that both leaders could really agree on and support full-heartedly are the efforts of Germany to support Palestinian state-making and all the humanitarian projects that are currently happening in the West Bank. But beyond that, and of course beyond the stated support of Germany for the negotiated two-state solution and its criticism towards Israel's settlement policy, we haven't really seen much agreement between the two.
Right, and we do hear a lot of world leaders talk, grant their support for the two-state solution in words, but all of these leaders also know that there are no negotiations currently. There is a very little chance of any type of agreement, even if there would to be negotiations, and staying away from even engaging in that quagmire where everybody seems to sink. So what exactly does that mean in the end? Even if he says those words, can Abbas take anything away from this?
Well, we're also not seeing any particular initiative on the part of Germany when it comes to restarting negotiations between Israel and the Palestinians. And it's clear that with everything that is happening right now in Europe, particularly the war in Ukraine and the energy crisis that Germany finds itself in, it's safe to say that what is happening right now in the Middle East is less of a priority for Olaf Scholz. But what we did see during the press conference is actually U.S. President Joe Biden being called out on his lack of action when it comes to the conflict, especially after visiting the area and promising concrete steps ahead of Mahmoud Abbas's visit to the United States. This is definitely something that was mentioned, and it seems that the Palestinians were disappointed with Biden following his visit to Israel and to the Palestinian Authority, and also till today, they feel that they haven't really seen any concrete steps. When it comes to Germany, on the other hand, it seems that there is at least some comfort taken in the fact that Germany is being very consistent in its position. And while it's not promising mountains, it also stands by its words when it comes to at least its commitment to support the Palestinians and support such a solution.
Polina Garaev, Germany correspondent, thank you very much.